I want to quickly talk to you about Net 30 account, and I want to compare and contrast the Uline, Amazon, and Crown Office Supplies. So here are the considerations I want you to think about. I want to first start with Uline Net 30 account. So the cool thing about the Uline is that Uline is very fast in approving you, and business credit accounts like Uline are a bit like business credit cards in the sense that you basically can make purchases now and pay the vendor later. And in terms of credit limit, Uline is pretty flexible. Also, they can start you with $1,000 and they can go all the way to $5,000. And if you have the right business plan, the right business profile, you can have a $10,000. Okay. So the cool thing about Uline is that you are able to have a Net 30 account, but they can extend it if you have the right relationship. They can extend it to a Net 45 in some cases. So that's really great. Okay. But basically, Net 30 account, this is actually a given. Okay. So that means what? It means that you have 30 days to pay your invoice after making an office supply purchase on Uline. So when you think about Uline, think about office supplies. That's primarily what it is. Uline is not like Granger or another player. They focus on, they don't do industrial supply. They do a little bit, but they are more into office supply. Okay. So the cool thing is that Uline actually is great in the sense that it reports to all the three business credit bureaus. Not all Net 30 vendors do that. So Uline is actually an exception in that sense because they report to Experian, Equifax, and Dun & Bradstreet. So that's kind of cool because it really helps you build credit gradually by actually extending your assortment of Net 30 accounts. Now, how do you register and open an online account with Uline? Pretty simple. Very, very straightforward. So the process to establish a business credit line with Uline is very simple. So the vendor application asks for both bank and trade references, which really help Uline actually understand how responsible you are in paying your debt and managing your business finances. So this is kind of cool. And Uline also wants to have your DUNS number. And you have to actually go to Dun & Bradstreet to register for a DUNS number if you don't have that as of yet. The cool thing is if you are applying for a Net 30 account through Uline, you don't have to provide your social security number or business bank account information. Okay. Once approved for your account, you can select Net 30 terms as your payment method as checkout when making an industrial supply order. So you may also be notified of your Uline credit limits. So the thing is, if you are trying to apply for a Uline Net 30 account, you can actually go to the website. That's the fastest way to actually apply this year. Okay. I mean, in the past, you were also able to apply online. I mean, sorry, you could apply it on the phone. You could call actually Uline, but nowadays they have actually streamlined the whole process. So it's just a lot easier and faster for you to go online and apply. But if you want to go the phone option, the phone route, you can call 1-800-295-5510. So the number once again is 1-800-295-5510. And this is totally, that's the possibility. You can actually talk to a rep and ask them to actually set you up as a Net 30 account. They'll ask you they'll ask you the same info that they will ask you if you were to do things online. Okay. And so when it comes to Uline, you have several forms of payment types. So Uline actually accepts Visa, MasterCard, Discover Card, American Express. They also accept GSA, SmartPay, and also Diners Club. So you have a lot of possibilities. In addition, Uline accepts personal or corporate checks, money orders, cashier's checks, electronic funds transfers, EFTs, or even wire transfers. So that's kind of cool. So you are able to get things done faster. And Uline actually reports, I think I said this before, reports to all three credit bureaus. So that's really cool. So you are able to get the setup real fast. So when you think about Uline, think about primarily office supplies. They do also some industrial supplies, but they do, it's more like office supplies. Okay. But one thing for sure, Uline actually will cater to all your needs. That's not a problem. One thing I want to say here is that it's just better if you, for any reason you do not want to go with Uline or Uline does not approve your application, you can still go to Amazon or you can go to Granger, you can go to Crown Office Supplies. So you have a lot of Net 30 vendors that you can explore if for any reason your application is denied at Uline. And one thing I want to make sure that you have all the paperwork. Okay, or have all the paperwork that they ask you for before applying. So the second net 30 account that I want to compare and contrast in today's conversation actually is Amazon. I mean, no need to introduce Amazon. Amazon doesn't need no introduction. It doesn't need an introduction, okay? But the thing is that with Amazon, you have all kinds of possibilities as a business account. So in the past few years, Amazon has revamped its model for Amazon business accounts. So one of the changes is the introduction of a net 30 option known as pay by invoice. That's how they call it. They call it pay by invoice. So if you're interested in being set up as a net 30 account at Amazon, you have to actually look for the pay by invoice sort of feature. Although it sounds like just a regular purchase and pay process, the invoices option is the result of an approved credit line. It also has the benefit of allowing you to save credit cards for purchases from places other than Amazon. So that's kind of cool, okay? And so the cool thing is that if you once you go through the whole process, you are able to be approved real fast. And so the first and most obvious feature of Amazon's pay by invoice option is your ability to delay payments for items your business orders from Amazon. And this is not an option that every business has, but it is something that you might want to have, okay? So in many cases and for a lot of items, Amazon has the most competitive price, that's for sure. And not only that, but the ability to research products by reading thousands of reviews allows you as a business to make the best purchase decision possible. So that's kind of cool. So one thing for sure that with Amazon, you don't have actually an interest, like you don't have a line of credit that's really huge. I mean, Amazon doesn't give you 5,000 or 10,000, but the cool thing is whatever you have, if you have, let's say $1,000, it's still good because it is a no interest credit line. Okay. So that's really good. So here, what you have with Amazon pay by invoice, you have on-demand digital itemized invoices. So Amazon is sort of slicing and dicing the invoicing process for you. So that's kind of cool. But Amazon does not actually report to business credit bureaus. So Amazon is good for from a cash flow perspective. So you are able to control your cash inflows and cash outflows, your business's liquidity. That's for sure. But Amazon is not going to report, let's say, your transactions to Dun and Bradstreet, to Equifax, or to Experian. So Amazon is a great option for you if you don't care about building your credit through them, or you are using other net 30 accounts that actually report, and you're just using Amazon from an affordability point of view, because you know that Amazon has such a large catalog of pretty discounted prices, and you just want to take advantage of that. So one thing for sure, if you want to qualify for Amazon business financing, it's important to really understand that you have to actually, first of all, call the company, because the thing is that Amazon makes it clear that this is an invitation-only program. So each new Amazon business account is evaluated for qualification. The best way to really sort of preempt, or even the best way to actually increase your chances of success is actually by giving Amazon a call. So you give Amazon a call. They have a different department for businesses, and you give them a call and you explain everything. So if you have a conversation, they will ask you about your business. They will ask you about the pros and cons of your industry, your financials. They might ask you to provide some kind of balance sheet information, some cash flow information. So that way, at least you have a conversation. That's what I mean by having a conversation. At least when you speak to someone, they can ask all questions, okay? And the cool thing is that at that point, they will ask you how much you intend to buy through Amazon. Like you can give them like 1,000, 5,000, or what have you. And they will also ask you what kind of net account do you want? Do you want net 30, net 45, net 60, net 90? I suggest that you basically go for the lowest to start with. Go with net 30 accounts, okay? That way you can delay payment for 30 days. And gradually you can increase it to a net 45. I mean, Amazon will increase it to net 45 if they see your account and they actually evaluate your account based on the volume of transaction, but also the payment history on your account. Okay, so it is a different process. So basically, for Uline, it's just better to do everything online. For Amazon, it's better to do things the other way around. So you want to contact Amazon by phone, have a conversation, answer all questions that the rep might have for you before you actually apply for real. The third player I want to share with you into this conversation is Crown Office Supplies. So we are having a compare and contrast between Uline, Amazon, and Crown Office Supplies. So when you think about Crown Office Supplies, I mean the name says it all, right? It's all about office supplies. So you have a lot of possibilities there, okay? And so Crown Office Supplies stands out as a great Net 30 setup because they have a great return policy, great application process, and also a wonderful customer service, okay? And one thing for sure, you have a wide variety of products that you are able to get from office staples to wall art. So that's kind of cool. And so that's really good. So you can have a Net 30 account, that's for sure. So you can build business credit real fast, okay? So when you think about a Net 30 account from Crown Office Supplies, the cool thing is that you actually can get all your office needs in one place. So from a centralization point of view, you are well served because you don't have to actually shop at multiple places. You just have a one relationship with one supplier, and you just do everything. Okay, so this is kind of cool. And the cool thing is, if you get approved for a Net 30 account, you have 30 days to actually pay. Now, Office Supplies is known for being very cautious when they start a relationship with you. So don't expect very large sort of don't expect very generous limits when you start with them. They might start you at 500, or they might start you at 300, or even 200, and then they will gradually sort of evaluate your account. Okay, so this is really something to think about. One thing I want you to really think also about is that with Office Supplies, you are able to have a variety of products. You have when you look at their store directory, you will see that they're selling products that are pretty much everything you need for a standard business office, from stationery and mobile accessories. Sorry about that. From stationery and mobile accessories to let's say wall arts and office care bags. The Crown Office Supply catalog has it all. Okay. Plus, you can take a look at their featured products and see that this trade credit vendor also offers a lot of good deals, especially for seasonal items and wall arts. So that's really good from an affordability point of view, and also from a scalability point of view. The cool thing that you can expect also with Crown Office Supplies is that you are able to build business credit real fast. So Office Supply will report your data to all three business credit bureaus. So you're looking at Equifax, Experian Business, and Dun& Bradstreet. Okay, and this is kind of cool. And so most Net 30 vendors, or at least the ones that focus on office supplies, report to only Dun& Bradstreet, and in some cases Experian Business. So it's either one or two. But the fact that Crown Office Supplies reports to all three, that's really fantastic. Okay. And also in terms of minimum and maximum limit, Office Supplies, I said this before, they'll start you a little earlier, and they'll start you they'll start you a little lower, like 300, and then they'll go from there to 3,000, even 10,000 if you have the right profile. It's all about the relationship you have with Office like Crown Office Supplies. So what you will love also with the Crown Office Supplies Net 30 account is that there are a few restrictions and stipulations, but those stipulations are there to sort of help you actually develop a tighter relationship with Office Supplies. First, this Net 30 vendor requires a $99 annual fee to keep your business credit account open. So this is not a lot when you think about the benefits of a Net 30 account, plus the discounts you can access, but still keep that in mind. So you have to pay $99 upfront. Second, your business needs to be based in the US and must have already been around for at least 90 days. So if you're a startup, like if you're a brand new startup, fresh out of the oven, you won't qualify. So very young businesses will likely not be able to qualify yet. Still, it's a less strict requirements compared to all the other Net 30 vendors out there. Okay, and especially because when you have 30 days is really 90 days is pretty basic. It's pretty decent. I mean, when you have a startup and 30 days and 90 days is really not a lot for you to establish yourself operationally speaking. So this is kind of cool because Crown Office Supplies is trying to protect its interest by making sure that you have actually been around for a while. So in terms of Crown Office Supplies Net 30 approval requirements, they ask you for your EIN, your employer identification number, your business registration. They will ask for that. They'll ask for your DUNS number. Okay. They'll also ask you to provide some kind of transactional history, or at least some projections, how much you intend to buy through the platform, so that they can have an idea of how to what kind of limit they should be giving you. So, and that's kind of cool because it helps office supplies also project their own revenue, or at least income with you. So Uline versus Amazon versus Crown Office Supplies, which one should you go for this year? So the thing is that here is a choice I want you to think about. First of all, before choosing between Uline, Amazon, or Crown Office Supplies, you got to really ask yourself, do you really need a Net 30 account this year? And why do you need a Net 30 account? Because Net 30 accounts are trade credits that allow businesses such as you and mine to pay for goods or services within 30 days of receiving an invoice without incurring interest charges. That's for sure. And but these accounts are often offered by vendors to help provide financial stability, financial flexibility, financial affordability, especially to new or small businesses. But remember that you have other types of ways of building business credit. You can have a business credit card, you can have a business line of credit, you can have a business loan, you can have a business equipment financing arrangement. So you have all kinds of possibilities, okay? And so the payment terms for Net 30 are basically net 30 calendar days. I mean, net 30 calendar days. And to qualify, you have to really be a legit business. So you can't be a sole proprietorship and actually trying to build a business credit through a Net 30 account. It's just better that you establish yourself as a company. So it can be an LLC, it can be a C corporation, an S corporation, or what have you. Okay, and so this is kind of important. So you want to get a Net 30 account because you want to diversify actually the array of credit programs that you have. That way you can increase your paydesk score, which is your Dun and Bradstreet business credit score. So you want to be around. You want to have as many credit programs as possible, so that you can increase in the end your paydesk score to, let's say, 80 or 90. Okay, and this is important. And you want to actually build business credit real fast, so that you can increase your attractiveness as a business. You want to improve your cash flow too, because I mean, can you imagine if you want to engage with a third party, let's say a vendor or a customer. Some customers will check your credit too. Some customers will check your business credit. Some vendors will check your business credit as well. Okay, and in addition to your personal credit. So building business credit is really good. If you haven't done it already, what you want to do is that before applying, you want to get an EIN, register with your state, list your phone number, and you want to get a DUNS number. So at least those are preliminary. That's the preliminary foundation before you can actually apply for a Net 30 account. So here's the selection I want you to pay attention to: Uline versus Amazon versus Crown Office Supplies. Which one should you go for? Our choice is pretty simple: Uline, because Uline gives you the flexibility. Uline actually reports to all three business credit bureaus. So Uline is fantastic. If Crown Office Supplies wasn't charging $99 for the Net 30 account, I would have chosen Crown Office Supplies. But the fact that they're charging you to have a Net 30 account, it's not really worth it. Okay, unless you have the cash for it. Amazon is more complicated, okay, and so it's just better to go with something very simple. So Uline is the simplest and also the most generous vendor. So here's the bottom line in today's conversation. I spoke to you about Uline versus Amazon versus Crown Office Supplies. I give you the considerations, the choice, the selection, and the bottom line. Thank you so much. God bless you. I'll see you next time. Until then, remember, stay marvelous.